welcome to my first ever YouTube tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how you can transform yourself into one of my favorite Game of Thrones characters. And hopefully you already guessed, it's Daenerys Targaryen. She went from being a timid victim to becoming a strong, confident, dragon-riding queen. Using by Terry Cover Expert Foundation in number 3, I'm starting at the center of my face working outwards, as that's where most of the redness and imperfections usually are. I'm working it into my skin for a natural finish. I'm using Chanel translucent powder in number 20 on my eyes before applying eyeshadow. To define my crease, I'm using Beech by Kryolan. It's a desert brown color like the sand on the shore at Dragonstone. I like to start at the outer corners, moving inwards, which concentrates more color towards the outer edge of the crease. My eyes are slightly rounder than Khaleesi's eye shape, so I'm using pure white eye kohl by MAC on the outer corners of my eyes to elongate them on and on the edge of the waterline. I'm just using a cotton bud to take off a bit of the color to stop it from standing out too much. To define my eyes and slightly change my eye shape, I'm using Bobbi Brown Longwear Gel Eyeliner in black ink, applied with the Bobbi Brown Ultra Fine Eyeliner brush. Before it dries, I'm going over it with a cotton bud to blur out the line. I'm going back to Beech by Kryolan for my lower lash line, using the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eyeliner brush, taking care to avoid the white eyeliner at the outer corner. And if you're up too late partying with the Dothraki, I find it helps to brighten up the under eye area with a liberal swipe of Touch a Club by Yves Saint Laurent. I'm then going over with a medium brown eyeshadow, Brown Down by MAC, below the lower lash line for a bit more definition. Curl your eyelashes looking straight ahead. Wipe the excess mascara off with a tissue to ensure a thin, natural layer. I'm using MAC Extreme Dimension. I'm using the Bobbi Brown foundation stick in Alabaster as my highlighter. I'm adding highlighter to my nose to make it appear wider, on my chin to bring it forward, and also to accentuate the apples on my cheeks and cheekbones. I'm using the ScreenFace face cream foundations to shade. Emilia has a narrower and a smaller forehead than me, so I'm shading it to make it appear smaller and to sculpt my cheeks and cheekbones. I'm using the MAC 188 brush to blend. I'm using two different ones, one for the highlighter and one for shading. Face shapes differ from person to person, so you might need to contour slightly different to me, but the technique is the same. Compare your face shape to Emilia and shade and highlight accordingly. And now for Khaleesi's signature eyebrows. I'm starting off lightening my eyebrows with the Kryolan Dermacolor Camouflage makeup in D3.5. I'm applying it against the direction of growth. An orangey yellow tone instead of a pink or a beige tone will cancel out any blue color that you can get when using foundation on your eyebrows. I'm using MAC eyebrow pencil in Fling to roughly draw out Khaleesi's eyebrow shape in thin strokes to make it look like hairs. Lastly, I'm dabbing some brown liquid eyeliner by Gosh on the back of my hand, and then using a fine nail art brush to paint eyebrow hairs with. To finish, I'm lightening them slightly by adding the Chanel powder I used earlier, and give the appearance of lifting them using white eyeshadow in Vivid White by MAC on the brow bone. Now I need my lips to go from narrow to full and voluptuous. I'm starting off reshaping my lips using Dervish Lip Pencil by MAC. And now for some lip contouring. To make them look less flat, I'm going over the outer edge of the lips with Bobbi Brown Alabaster. This will make them look more 3D if you have narrow lips like mine. My camera stopped filming without me noticing, but I also extended the white of the filter columns, which is the number 11 above your Cupid's bow, and darkened the dip using MAC eyebrow pencil in Fling. I'm adding lipstick using a brownie red color by Ian in shade R12. To add more depth, I'm using a brown pencil at the inside of my top lip. I'm going in with more alabaster. I'm dabbing it onto my lips while pouting to highlight and to keep the creases on my lips stay dark to give the illusion of more natural lips. I'm going in with the brown pencil again to give more depth at the corners of my mouth. Lastly, I mixed alabaster with the Ian lipstick and now going over the lip line to make it look less severe. After setting my foundation with Chanel powder number 20, I'm adding a slight bit of blusher using Bobbi Brown Nectar. I just felt like I needed to accentuate the shading, so I'm going over it with the Chanel powder in number 40. And lastly, I'll speed you through Khaleesi's hairstyle. Dracarys.